Testing. Testing 1, 2, 3. Looks like everything is good to go.
Hey, see that cat over there? If you need some bread, maybe we should leave a crust or two behind and she'll go for it when she's comfortable.
Right. So this is Kentucky Route Zero. Welcome. I'm SomeoneNamedDean. Do the little card thing. Yeah, sure. Cool. There we go. Yeah. Okay. That also needs to be updated at some point. Slowly updating a couple of my graphical assets here and there. Making up new ones. If you didn't catch my tangent the other day, Dark Souls made Hogball. You know, when you go to fight a boss or something. Anyways, not really applicable here. This is Kentucky Route Zero. We're just gonna make that go away. There you go. Anyways, I don't know. Trying to make stuff as I go along. Advantage of my Stream Deck. Also kind of organize voices to appropriate folders. Now I got a Kentucky Route Zero voice folder accessible on my Stream Deck. Elgato Stream Deck here. That'll help me hopefully stay on top of all my wacky voices if I choose to do them or not. Okay, so last time we played, it was about 3 weeks ago. Time happens, life happens. I don't know what I would have talked about before last time I played this game in relation to now. Yeah. I mean, I like to normally kind of continue a thought or narrative thread in between episodes of the same game. I mean, not that I've really done this long, but I haven't really reviewed the footage of the last episode. So not yet, anyways. But let's continue. Let's try to remember what we were doing. So, I guess this game's a little bit about tangents and stuff like that, or just going on weird side quests. Our pal Conway here is just silhouette right now. I think that might be some sort of foreshadowing. I don't know. He's just looking a little not himself. Kentucky Route Zero. Yeah, I can talk, right? Point and click adventure game, but not your traditional one with like item tab at the top or, you know, situations where you can get yourself killed, to my knowledge anyways. And I feel like the game is about, I don't know, working class citizens trying to make it through their life, I guess. Semi-relatable, I suppose. Just falling on hard times and debt. And in some instances, there's a lot of motifs about drinking as well. And I guess maybe loneliness in some ways. So it's a bit of a weird game. It's interesting. I guess it's set in its own universe where for some reason there's this magical road you can take called the Kentucky Route Zero, and it's this weird, impossible to navigate plane that people are slowly either it's always been around or people are slowly like terraforming it and like building these weird like, what would the word be, Eleusinian, like, nonsensical structures and stuff like that. It also seems to be like kind of like an underground network. I don't know what to call it. Oh, it's Lula Chamberlain. So Conway here, just do a bit of a recap, wants to make one final delivery, I guess. His employer just got one last job. So he's been going on this random quest. He got told by a gas station attendant to deliver a TV somewhere, and that person told him it was broken, but if he found her cousin, she could fix it. He ended up getting his leg hurt in the process. They fixed the TV, and somehow that ended up leading them to the Kentucky Route Zero, but then they got lost because it's impossible to navigate. Then they found their way here, talked to her. She recommended he see a doctor. Went to go see a doctor. His leg literally got replaced with this weird one. And I because there must be some sort of loaded metaphor where, like, he didn't have the money for it. He's now in debt medically. Probably didn't fell on hard times anyways. So the leg literally isn't his. I think that's what this is a representation of. They found this kid whose brother is a giant eagle or bird. His parents are missing. And then now Johnny, who's on the motorcycle hanging out with the dog, and Junebug here are just tagging along for the ride. And I think she's a robot because every time she walks, it beep beep beeps. Also, her skin is gray. So yeah, she totally must be a robot. Weird. Anyways, Lula here also might have been in a relationship with the gas station attendant who made us go on this weird rabbit hole of things, who was like, hey, take this TV. I think that kind of summarizes it. All the while you're kind of discovering their backstories bit by bit, and kind of, I think I've seen someone describe this online where you tell the game who you are. You get a lot of dialogue options. I don't feel like they kind of refer back to them, your choices. So you kind of, I guess you can kind of shape characters in that way, but a lot of what they say is in character, but you can kind of choose what happens or how people even respond to you. It's interesting. Anyways, I'm going to try to be a bit better with my voices. Sometimes I look back at my episodes and I realize, oh, I didn't wait quite long enough for voice mod to load in. So you hear me talk normal and then it kicks in. It's hard to gauge when it activates or not. But anyways, let's continue, shall we?
There you are. Marianne has the rest of the thing off while I'm winding the desk.
You're not too busy?
If I'm in the middle of something, I just let the phone ring. It's soothing in a way. The results just came in by the carrier. Good news. Donald and his assistants were able to sort through the noise. Had Rick cross-referenced the results against some of our records. He found a corresponding mail stop on the Echo River route. As it happens, the night ferry is scheduled to make its stop here shortly. The ferryman carries the mail and collects the garbage as well. I'm sure you can catch a ride out that way. You're welcome to wait here. I have to get back to packing.
Are you going somewhere?
All night. I'm feeling impulsive, and I'd like to be ready. Maybe back to Mexico. It's been years. I still have one of my sculptures at a museum down there. And you know, big, ugly, iron thing. I'm the hottest scrapped, anyway. Safe travels. Try to stay out of the water. It's colder than it looks. Indeed.
Huh. Any reason to go over here? Nope. I don't think the game's gonna let me go. Okay. I appreciate you tagging along, Junebug. Yeah. Guess we wait. Oh no, I was hoping to kind of navigate the zero a bit. Sometimes you find... What is it? This? Or maybe it's his book. Field notes. This is Rust archives. I wanted to check out these places. So sometimes you do stuff and then you find, I guess, instructions to places or whatever that your characters will write. So field notes, I believe, is Conway's. We went to an area. This is where he got injured. Found this random card. Flip it around, which is kind of neat. I had a D20 somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. It's odd. It's gone. Bureau of Secret Hitchhiking. There's even a number on the back. Huh? Oh. Junebug and Johnny. They were tagging along and stopped by to help us for a bit. And then we followed them to a performance. And the guy was unable to pay him. But he was like, here, take this IOU. And then this would be Shannon's book. But anyways, okay. Guess we wait. Oh, we're making some progress.
How long do we have to wait?
And for Conway here, I do the worst country style voice I can muster, so you have to forgive me. It's been a while since I've played Red Dead 2. Oh, who knows?
All right. What happened?
What?
In the church, at the graveyard. You two came out of there all weird. What happened?
Ah, it's okay. You can tell them. It doesn't matter anymore.
Fine. So, we were in that graveyard.
So earlier, like right before we reached the bureau where we were just at, we got lost in a kind of a cycle in the Kentucky Route Zero and couldn't really find our way back to that bureau where Lula was. So we found some sort of mountain of, I don't know, scaffolding and just a fire in the center. And we found this eccentric guy. And he might have been also in a relationship with Lula and also friends with Joseph, who was the gas station attendant that you meet at the very beginning. I guess the three of them, I guess it was kind of like an awkward love triangle. I don't know. But it seemed like they were inventors and they were trying to, I don't know, they had a project in mind called Xanadu. They found the Kentucky Route Zero, I think. At least part of it. And then yeah, they were working on their project and then they got spooked out by these weird people who kept coming in. Donald stayed behind, I guess, because he was stubborn or prideful or just, I don't know, and just kept working on this machine, which I don't even know what the purpose of it is. You'd have to watch the last episode to see what I'm talking about. It's a weird machine. It doesn't really do anything. Apparently it just predicts everything or something, or it's just supposed to be a perfect simulation. But anyways, yeah. It was not working because the strangers came and messed it up. So we had to go through a pathway to come here. Ezra and Junebug stayed outside, while Shannon and Conway went in, and it was just unusual because they kind of tight-lipped about it. So I guess now we're about to find out what happened. I don't quite remember what options I chose. If I'm even repeating anything.
Well, it can't be right. Looks like an old church.
Worth a look inside.
I guess.
I want to stay outside.
Okay.
I'll stay with him. We can look for lizards.
Okay. We'll make it quick.
It'd be funny if the game actually remembered what I was doing with Ezra there as I was running around looking at things. Okay, wow, this is kind of creepy. Also, I know I've said this previously, I love the way the game uses silhouettes and stuff like that to kind of just represent spaces. Like how this is just all dilapidated, but you got like a slice of what's inside of it. You can sit down, you can look at the floor. Let's look at the floor here. The church floor is cold metal, scuffed and flexed by unknown boot heels. A handmade apparatus for the production of moonshine, assembled from scavenged metal and natural materials. Fun story. I once had someone's moonshine. I think I almost went blind off of it. I'm not even joking. If you ever go to a house party and you're drunk and then someone offers you homemade moonshine that they made in the bathtub, just don't. I was messed up the following day. I don't know if it was strong. I hate to say it, I couldn't quite see right the following day. My vision came back, thankfully, but it was one of the dumbest things I ever did. Fortunately, it's just easy to just do something like that. So, yeah. The guy was kind of off anyways. I should have trusted my gut, but I was like, oh, you know, maybe, yeah. I don't know if anyone else had that problem, or I'm sure everyone else just said no at the party. But man, that was just awful. It gave me like tunnel vision. I don't know how else to explain it. Anyways, tangent aside. Yeah, so when I first played this game about, I know I've also mentioned this several times, 2014 is when I probably first started playing it, or maybe 2013. It's been an episodic game, and the full version came out, I think, maybe 2020 or something like that. Anyways, this version, I guess, that came out, the full version, there's like integral chapters. So the bar that Johnny and Junebug played at, I guess the guy deals with this crew of people for Hard Times whiskey, and they seem like a bunch of strange people. And from the chapter, it kind of seemed like it was implied that they harvest people's debt and hard times or something and turn it into whiskey. So it's unusual. So I think we're about to find out what the heck that means.
I don't know what to expect. I mean, don't know what I expected.
Strangers, you kept saying.
Kind of vague already, isn't it? Donald's a stranger. Oh, you and I are practically strangers. Listen, earlier, the mine. I didn't want to talk about it, but
well, she doesn't need to talk about it, but I kind of want to know. What did you find down there?
when I saw Weaver, he was on TV. I was testing a pretty simple tube repair, flipping through channels to check the saturation. She was just there. It was kind of horrible. I mean, I told you she disappeared. Suddenly. Ran away. But we thought...
You thought she was dead.
Yeah. I guess I don't like to say it. Dead. And then, next time I flipped the channel too, Weaver. It's burned in my vision now. Just standing in a room. The walls are a blank kind of gray. There's tape on the walls, like markings. A desk. A classroom, maybe? The camera's in the corner, so it's the sort of 45-degree angle into the room. And there's Weaver right in the center of the picture. I stopped turning the dial. Oh, I think I stopped breathing. Eventually, she spoke. But there's no real sound. Just this awful hum. I read the closed caption. She said to go to the mine. I'd find something there. Can't remember her exact words. Whenever I try, I get distracted. Fuzzy. It's so dusty in here, right?
Yeah, real dusty.
You think, with all these holes in the ceiling. What the hell was that? Did you hear that?
We should. Oh, my controller is freaking out. Oh, why? To unplug it. That's one weird thing about this game. I'm not even using my controller. It just responds to vibration. What is this place? An underworld? Well, I guess we're in the magical Kentucky Route Zero. Oh, now we're... Interesting. So the weird thing is, this... Okay, so I guess... like a little energy skeleton. Okay, I guess we're gonna greet these people. Visitors. The stranger activates the tape player slung on his shoulder. A crackly drawn echoes in the room. It is patient and sounds like it should be smiling. Oh gosh, I am going to pause for a second. I want to get an appropriate voice here. So, one moment, please.
Regrets. I hope I didn't keep you waiting for long. You know, it's a lot of foot traffic these days. I guess you're here about the job. I'm afraid we only have one opening at the moment. Horrible business.
We're actually looking for some information about an old computer.
Certainly. I'll tell you everything you need to know. I've only just met you, but I feel certain there's a place for you here. I'll just take you over to meet the dispatcher. Show you the trucks. Get you familiarized. We can converse as we go.
What is this place?
Some kind of factory?
Yeah, maybe. But for what? Why hidden away like this? And what's that smell? Bread. Baking bread?
Please. Follow me.
Okay. Guess we're following this individual named Doolittle. Huh. Okay. Just gonna adjust my volume here. Testing. Hello? Huh. Yeah, I guess I gotta figure out volume stuff going on in this game.
To ask you to step in here a moment. This is for your safety. And adjust your outfits just a bit. There's some protective headwear up on the wall back there. Please remove your shoes and eyeglasses.
I'm not taking off my shoes.
I understand. It's only a courtesy to you. There's a favor and put on the headwear, anyway. Just this way.
Interesting. For some reason, Shannon has a weird device and it messes them up. So what are these people anyways? They're like some sort of ethereal beings, almost.
This evening, planning to do, but to relay the formula.
What job are they working?
I don't know that it's been settled just yet. You see, sometimes we take on newcomers already in debt to the distillery. One of the foremen will find something for them to do. Chip away at their sum until it's all settled. That's what I'm doing here. Chipping away. That's what we're all doing.
Wow. Check this stuff out. It must be decades old, but it's perfect condition.
How do you think they keep it like that?
Maintenance, old man. I bet it's someone's job around here. Probably hard to keep all the dust out. You know, underground. That's why I got into this business, to keep old stuff like this running. Seems like such a shame to let it just fall into ruin, you know? Like that computer back in the cave. Xanadu. Decades of engineering. Thousands of years of mathematics and philosophy, all petrified into living stone. How could you just let that fall apart?
One thing to note about the weird Xanadu thing is it seems to be kind of, when we were interacting with it after, this is kind of, I guess, showing what happened with Shannon and Conway while Junebug and Ezra were outside, and then, returning to the computer and then fixing it. But, yeah, Xanadu was just this weird kind of simulation. I don't know if it was predicting what would happen next, or just describing all the events up to that point that led it just being adjacent to a bonfire, and Donald, some sort of, I don't know, odd visionary who's just compulsively driven to work on it. Anyways, as you're doing the simulation that kind of, I guess, represented everything that happened up until that point, one of the recruits that he had was Weaver, who's Shannon's sister, who she was talking about here. And I'm going to assume at some point maybe Weaver was working with Donald on that Xanadu project and then came over here, and maybe she's somewhere here. But we're going to find out, I guess. Okay. So I think, we're just gonna look around. Shuttle? So the shuttle here. Here's
The fleet. We just use these to get around internally.
How big is this place?
Well, it's grown a great deal over the years. Incredible to think, really. When Mr. Bishop founded this operation, it was only about 1,800 square feet. And half of that or more was occupied by camouflage to keep the law out. Hiding out in the back of an old church purifying spirits by handmade fire, a carol, and a dream. So the trucks are just east a ways, shipping. You can become acquainted with the dispatcher there. Give me a tap on the shoulder. You see something that catches your eye. Always happy to show off the facilities, supply machinery.
Huh. Is there anywhere else we can go? Looks like we might be able to just go around. Or not. You hold right click and scroll the mouse wheel out. Interesting. Guess. Is there anything else to look at? I'll just quickly look around. I don't want to miss anything. I'm pretty sure that's where we have to go. Yeah, they're almost incorporeal. It's kind of strange, isn't it? Are these guys ghosts? Are they some sort of weird alien? Kind of go into this cave a bit. Doesn't really go anywhere else, though.
Yes, I'm just seeing how far you'll follow me. I don't get to stretch my legs that often.
Well, at least they got... Going around barefoot is a weird courtesy, but... Logistics? Oh, we're driving around. I, for some reason, wasn't expecting that. Oh my, okay, this is this tank controls? Nope, still clicking. You'll take care of it. How fascinating. What is going on in this game? So from Donald's description of these people, they sounded like monsters. I mean, obviously they kind of look a little creepy because they're skeletons. thing is, can we just hop out at any time? Supposed to be a pretty big place if there's vehicle sections. Oh my goodness, we can. Can we just talk to this dude? Yeah. That is surprising. Okay, well, take a look around. Why not? Give us a tour. Installation. It looks like there might be designated spots to park. Okay, here's the motif about coffins again. So, kind of one of the things you can see in the first chapter, after going to the gas station, just wandering the road, is there's this discussion with the Joseph Wheat Tree. He's like, he was grumbling about like, oh, I hope these people from this accident don't come around and blah, 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 or ask for help, because I don't got any power. And then later on you can find the crash, and it was kind of leading me to believe that there was some sort of like limbo allegory going on, that maybe Conway was dead and this was just some sort of weird dream or in-between state of like heaven or hell. Because, like, it seems like there's a lot of motifs of him being a former drinker or something like that. And then he's a truck driver. There's a truck crash. There's a ton of bottles and coffins on the road. I guess maybe that wasn't the case. Maybe he was one of these guys delivering coffins for some reason.
Well, I guess these are... Oh. So I guess these are like before and after?
I wonder what they keep the old casts around for.
They smell nice for a little while, but it's pretty overpowering. No way around that smell. A way to clean them after the aging process. I mean, it's a one-way street.
Not gonna tell us what's in there, eh? I was hoping you would. A lot to look at here. Can I go over here? No, some downs.
Please, don't touch a thing. Very sensitive devices. We're not even allowed to run the formula through them.
What's the formula?
Yeah? Oh, the formula. Changed our lives. Once, years ago, we were as prisoners to the intricacies of our dead here. We'd have to account for everything on paper. Compounding interest by hand, reassessing amortization and leverage, asset distributions according to nightly merit decay. Then she stepped out of the dark caves to show us the light of the formula. She had a brilliant grasp of mathematics and a salient way of speaking right through the numbers. Now we just plug our daily numbers into the formula, and it all runs through the adding machine. We occasionally suffer some surplus drift, but she instructed us on all the necessary adjustments. It was devastating to see our revered mathematician go, but she was needed elsewhere. Her legacy abides.
What do these computers do?
Temperatures, pressure, wear, tenor, acidity, supply levels, any non-attending numbers in need of crunching, and so on. They won't I boring you yet? Are you simply dying of boredom? Or I myself could discuss this matter past sunrise.
We're trying to fix this old computer in the caves.
Of course. I'm boring you. Let's move on.
One of these old computers looks like about the same vintage as stuff in the caves.
How can you tell?
Well, I don't know this maker model. But you can tell. Check out these tubes. Nobody uses these anymore. I'm not sure where they'd even get replacements these days. It's rare stuff. Eh, is this like antiquing with Lysat for you? I probably sound kind of ridiculous, waxing on about vacuum tubes and oscilloscopes.
It's good to have a passion.
Yeah, I guess it is. Someday, you'll have to tell me what yours is.
Now, for some reason, Shannon, we have the weird ability to zippity zap things. Oh. What's that skull mean? What is going on? Why did that only appear after...
How's it looking, Ted? Got that new fan installed? Ted met one of our engineers at a bar some years ago, and they just clicked. Our engineer told him about some trouble with the equipment here, and he felt compelled to take a crack at it. Ted's been obsessively tuning, replacing, and upgrading ever since. What a project, Ted. You'll get a hand at it one day, I'm sure.
So, is her zapping things with magnets unlocking things? It totally is. That's so strange. I can't even remember what she said this her device was. Weird. It like makes them visible to us.
How goes the mystery, Danny? Danny's an enigma. He leases an old man from our fleet for some kind of daily out project. He drives out every morning and comes back by evening smelling propellants. Can't afford the leasing cash, so it pays us with working here.
The topic of debt again. Spirit's safe.
Don't let them catch you looking too closely here. Not within our purview.
What's it for?
Keeps us honest in the eyes of the state. Well, in the eyes of the management, anyway. I keep pretty low on my own view down here. Not much chance of being spotted by a helicopter, eh? But if the law came knocking, we could say we were logging and securing our virgin spirits. We could say. Marvelous engineering, though, isn't it? Connie, how's your rat? Connie is a great lover of animals. Do you know she's adopted over a dozen pets in as many years? Of course, that comes to All things great and small. The distillery found that the remains in her makeshift pet cemetery were trespassing on her subterranean property. Her hand was forced. In order to avoid the legal extinguishment of our easement, we were required to file a civil suit. However, the level head, Connie, agreed to a pre-court settlement to pay off her funds by working for us here.
So, maybe they don't get turned into liquor. Maybe these creatures are just representations of just a lifetime of debt or an impossible amount of money. Conway only owes a leg, but these people, I guess, are just so indebted that they're just owned by this corporation and have to slave away for it. And like they have no humanity because they can't do what they want with their lives. I don't know. I don't know if there's really even a reason for me to pick it apart. Testing. Guess we're gonna find out. Hello? Now it seems quiet. Huh. No idea why that's happening. Apologize. Testing. I'll do -1. That's a I'm just, for some reason, something odd is happening in OBS where it's showing peaking at red. And I lowered it by 1 decibel, and now it seems to be normal again. Oh, strange. Or if it's voice, is it voice mod? Is it kicking my voice up to the top?
La. Testing. 1, 2, 3. It's my voice speaking.
White lightning in a copper bottle. Some folks have other names for it.
How strong is it? We get it
Up to about 135 proof before it's filtered, cut, and barreled. You wouldn't want to drink it at this stage. Not that you could get a hold of any of it here. That's what the safe is for. Look at the neck. Like a swan's, huh? It's designed as part of our legacy. The vapor passes up through the neck along just a contour so as to produce our bourbon signature character. Mr. Bishop always said the shape came to him in a dream. He shot awake in the middle of the night and set to work hammering an old tea kettle to match that phantom geometry. Believe what you will. Here the vapors pass through a coil submerged in cold water and condense. Again, the geometry is very particular. Mr. Bishop arrived by intuition at a series of mathematical relationships between the angles and magnitudes here. Some weird cacophony of ratios. But all those principles are lost to history now. Moving along.
For some reason, I just remembered that Joseph Wheatree, aka the gas attendant you meet at the very beginning of the game, whose gas station is vaguely horse-shaped because it has a horse head. And then you go downstairs and realize, oh, it also has legs going underground with pipes. I wonder if it's connected to this place. I'm just going to stop at the arrows because I feel like this is kind of suggested destinations. Look at the warehouse.
The draft of warmth, like a summer breeze. This is the aging warehouse.
It's heated artificially?
100%. Draws a lot of electricity to tame this cold, rocky cave. I'll tell you that. Of course, we only have half our aging stock in here at any given time. Most distilleries let their whiskey sit in cask through the cycle of seasons. In summer, the wood expands and the whiskey seeps in, picking up flavor. In winter, the wood contracts and squeezes the whiskey back out. Down here, there are no seasons. Each workday proceeds from the last in an unbroken chain of climate control. So we make our own seasons. Each cask alternates in a weekly cycle between the cold ground upstairs and this heated warehouse.
Interesting. Here's the first
moment you could really call it. And here's the first moment you really could call it bourbon, the barrel dump. We cut it here with the water from the middle of Lake Leith. Has to be right in the middle, at the deepest, coldest point. They dive with sealed jugs, and only stop to fill them once they've reached total darkness. Pageantry? Ritual? Who can say? Tradition? Maybe?
Weird. Fascinating. Bizarre. Might be why I like this game. I don't know if it's gonna let you- Yeah, probably won't let you wander away too far from the vehicle. Yeah, I feel like you could skip over this whole section, but I feel like part of the adventure of this game is finding out about details about the game and kind of scouring it a bit. Bit of a slow burn, I guess. Might not be interesting except for the context of how it relates to itself in its own universe. If that makes any sense. Let's just go back to the blur. View. Right. Minus the whole removing your footwear, at least they have a safety code of wearing hard hats. It's pretty good. I wonder how much of the stuff is grounded in quote-unquote reality when it comes to liquor distribution. Sorry, processing and creation. I've been to a brewery before, and I've seen giant like copper tanks like this. You know, it varies. For my wife's uncle, we went on a brewery tour and we checked out all these breweries in Vancouver, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Some of the places you just go into like a restaurant section or bar section, and there was windows where you could see the factory just at the back. Just perfect. Perfect lighting. Obviously made to show off the inner workings. But like I remember seeing one where it's like, yeah, everything was just like kind of like copper coated. I don't know if that was even necessary, but it was just, it looked really vibrant, perfectly polished. And then there's other ones too where it's just like, you know, like, hey, this area is like chrome coated, and then you go to the tuber and you get a piece of it. Yeah, it's fascinating. I didn't really retain any of it. Obviously, we were involved, but kind of what this is reminding me of. Anyways.
Smell that? No mistaking it.
Making bread?
Exactly. That's the work of our unique ingredient, the yeast. The story is that Mr. Bishop got it from a baker in Knoxville, in a little tin box. He was on the run, our Mr. Bishop, from the law. For a while, he'd end in some muddy swamp, subsisting on live fish, where he always kept that little tin box dry, held above his head. Some witness had proposed that a bit of spent water seeped in that little tin box, introducing a foreign element, and giving our yeast culture the eccentricity for which it's widely known. I think it was that baker in Knoxville arrested him years later for the possession of a controlled substance. Life in prison, solitary confinement. No visitors, no windows. The day he died. Must have been a hell of a substance, eh?
Huh. They're like bottle mixers and fillers. I've been to like a winery where you can fill your own bottles and they'll have like rinsing devices. Well, not necessarily like a conveyor belt.
This is where most our staff ends up.
What are they doing?
Checking the, quality assurance. We used to bottle everything by hand, but these machines are marvelously efficient. Anything's a bit complicated for the workers. After all, the distillery can't just fire them. Now then, would they sell their accounts? But there's nowhere else to put them. They keep them out on things here. Can't be paid as much just to watch, of course. It's progress for you.
Yeah, I guess so. Sometimes your position gets replaced and you have to take a demotion. That or having a job.
This is Cliff, in bottling. Did you know? Well, how could you? Cliff was behind bars not long ago. He placed a desperate advertisement in the local newspaper seeking assistance on his bail. The distillery put up the money, and now he's working off on his case hellers in bureaucratic limbo, I mean.
See what you do, game. Gonna help me go this way? Yeah, there we go. Take us to shipping. Okay, yeah, no, it's definitely giving me like underworld. Oh, how do I put this? Hell vibes. This is like hell. Maybe this is hell. I don't know.
Here's the charring yard. Fits pretty well, considering. This smell. This is what they call bourbon, a comfort food.
Those are empty, right?
We tapped that source years ago. We build every cask by hand, right here. It's tradition. I like to think our application of hands and hammers to the oak gives our stuff a kind of life. Well, that's what I like to think.
It look like coffins?
That's tradition too, I suppose. And I'm sure it helps avert suspicion if a sailor catches us burning them upstairs.
Weird that an underworld kind of society would be worried about burying caskets. Well, you know what? It's all, I don't know. I'm sure this universe has its own rules and stuff. I guess these strange alcoholic distribution and manufacturing center has the will to live and probably just doesn't want to get busted by the government. Stop here. Mill.
It's an no. The mill. It's an antique. Perfectly functional. We recuperated it from a site upriver decades ago. Keeps us honest in our old world charm, if you follow. We do as much upkeep as the formula allows.
The water wheel is 20 feet up.
Gives us more clearance for a big hopper. When we pulled it out of the water at the old site, the wheel just kept spinning and hasn't stopped yet. Guess it didn't need the river to turn it after all.
Okay. Haunted, maybe? So right now I have the monitor. In game, of course, monitor, OBS, second one, which I haven't fully open. I'm trying to have voice mod hover over that screen as well, so unfortunately I can't see most like that. It's okay though. I see enough to know what scenes I have active, which is important. But I'm experimenting with having voice mod open because it seems to kind of load voices, and I'm hoping I can kind of observe it, you know, if the voice is loaded before I start talking. Sometimes I have issues on the episode where talking and the voice gets in because I thought I was actually earlier. I have no way of telling. At least until now. In the ideal world, I probably should have 2 monitors for this kind of class. So then I can also do it. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever do streaming, but if that time arises, yeah, I can also chat log.
To make a movement, you'll need some water, won't you? Here's where it all comes in. The mundanity of it all. Quite an impressive course when we don't get going like this, though.
What river is this?
It's an artery of the Echo River. The Echo River is framed from lake left, but you wouldn't recognize a drop of it. Left is cold, dark, and so very deep, and still. Rumors of the lake, what its supernatural properties are, let's say, just a bit exaggerated. But go in and fish on it.
I probably have mentioned this before, but there are occasions where I have gone down YouTube rabbit holes, and one of the things that got me hooked with it, which is bird. Anyway, watching videos about people going underwater cave diving, and unfortunate things that happened to them because they got stuck in these like insanely claustrophobic places. And yeah, I don't know, I guess it kind of gripped me in the same way that, I don't know, like a horror movie does, except more so because it's real life, I guess. Anyways. Testing? I don't know, my voice thing is acting weird again. What? Huh.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. Hello? Hi. Testing. Weird.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, yeah, my voices are just inconsistent. Not my voice acting, but like, that's odd. I'm gonna have to investigate that. I apologize. Testing, testing. Yeah, weird. Oh, quite a few of them we can talk to.
Jermaine was a Jermaine was a bicycle courier until quite recently. He sadly misplaced some money orders on the route to a boiler maintenance company who was held liable. When the distillery bought the company, his debt came along with it. We was good people. Used to run a magazine. 8 liners by the word and end up with a few flying adjectives in the red. 5 times co-signed on a loan for Quarterly Digest, but it sank. Doesn't talk much now. Dennis. We love Dennis. Truly. But Dennis cost all of us a great deal of time and money. He seen many years ago, and it continues to sting. His family owned a logging company once. They accidentally floated an uninspected log infested with termites down the river, and it ended up in our yard to spread its pestilence. Devastation. We didn't catch it until the porous cask had already been filled. A great warehouse village disaster, we still call it. Yes. Dennis will be here for a while. We're just lucky he's such an agreeable fellow.
Do you think you could ever live somewhere like this?
Seems lonely.
Yeah. I guess you don't. Where do you live?
I stayed in a barn on Lysette's property.
Oh, damn. Hey. I was living in my workshop, right? Now that your shop is closing. Guess you're... Yeah. I guess it's me too now. I can't get my landlord to change the locks back. A couple vagrants, huh? Oh. Figure it out.
Oh. Kind of heartbreaking. I really hope everything works well for our characters here. For Conway and Shannon and even Ezra. Junebug and Johnny seem like they're doing okay though. They're kind of free spirits, kind of embracing their routine, their band nature. Yeah, I guess this is kind of like a work camp on site. I don't think I'd like that. Unless it was like truly amazing somehow. But I have heard stories that there are like company-owned towns, and basically they'll provide you with like a house and neighborhood that you live in and all that, but basically you're stuck with them, I guess. But that's all I've ever heard. Hearsay or whatever they say. I don't know what the terminology is. The phrase. But still, could be nice, I guess. It would be better than nothing. And maybe it is alright. It just might not be for me. You know, everyone has different preferences and comforts. Maybe there might be something nice about, you know, having a bunk, hanging out with your coworkers, as long as you get along with them. No commute. But although this kind of underground facility, the nature of it might not be as nice as, you know, some other places in like the actual real world. We're only getting Doolittle's perspective here, and it seems to be, well, he's a company man, or entity.
Thought you'd like to see the accommodations. We supply what vetting we can, according to the formula.
How many people work here?
About 30, 40, something like that. Some of us count for more than others. Myself, I'm focused. Should I be? I've got this figure to pay down. The longer I sleep, the more interest accrues. It's a sin to sleep your freedom away like that. Of course, as a delivery driver, you'll be able to come and go rural. You're timed pretty closely, but you can still roll the window down. Maybe glimpse a familiar silhouette on the side of the road as you pass.
This debt thing is kind of hitting me hard. Not gonna lie. Goodness. There's all sorts of people here with their tragic background stories, I guess. Yeah, if I were a character here, I'd be the... Yeah, I don't feel like opening up about that. This is wrong.
Our young progeny. Well, has been groomed for the role of master distiller. The distillery paid tuition for his chemistry degree, and in exchange you're serving an apprenticeship. And shall be for many years, I would expect.
Yeah, I went to school a long time ago. I went to sales a long time ago. 10 years ago. Basically, when I first started playing this game, I was going to university. And it was good, it was fun. It was interesting for a time to be around people that shared your passion, to be in a place where you wanted to be versus high school, right? High school, it's kind of like everyone was there despite opposing interests and, you know, backgrounds and stuff like that. But it felt kind of nice in university. It's like you chose this class, you wanted to be there, everyone wanted to be there, and there's a little bit more different energy. But the only downside is around that time I had moved out of my parents' place around 18, which I guess, you know, is how it goes. They didn't necessarily, well, they did not kick me out at age 18. I chose to move out, which financially makes things harder. I don't think there's, especially in today's day and age right now, how expensive everything is and the price of inflation. Nothing is wrong with living with your parents. As long as you get along with them, as long as it's good for your mental health. Of course, you know, it's up to you to make that choice, but if they're willing to support you and you can help each other out, and it's a healthy family dynamic, I'd say go for it. It's fine. You know, I used to kind of count how much stuff I could have got if I wasn't paying rent at the time. That's just how it goes, and I don't regret moving out. I don't. I think it helped also shape me, you know, into more of a mature person. Gave me more life experience and kind of, it made me grow up. It is good to move out. You know? I could have saved a lot of money if I stayed with my parents. I just think about that sometimes. But it wasn't meant to be. And also, it's not good to think about the what ifs of things. It's healthier to acknowledge that you're here where you are today and just plan on what you can do about today and tomorrow. You know, live in the moment.
Ruben here was once a serial entrepreneur. You know what that is. He created and sold a bunch of businesses, one after another. Creative bookkeeping caught up with him, and he had to borrow against some empty promises to keep his licenses intact. Now he's here in shipping.
It may not
Be a drawn zone, but the food is certainly possible. Most of us never leave the premise anyway.
Why not?
Well, we strive to avoid unnecessary downtime. Besides, if we were all coming and going 3 times a day, we surely attract the wrong kind of attention. And tax what you can't see now.
Yeah. Shadow organization. Doesn't want to get taxed. I wonder if that's going to be a plot point later where we report them to, like, the IRS or something.
This is Pamela. On her dear friend's 40th birthday, she purchased a quarter cask of Hard Times to celebrate. Unfortunately, her check was misplaced under the delivery driver's seat for a few months, and was cashed at an inopportune moment. Naturally, the biggest check first policy incurred significantly elevated overdraft fees and interest. The distillery agreed to front Pamela's bill in exchange for a promise of work. Luck and shot, Vincent. Vincent, an avid boatsman, miscalculated while cabrioling down the Echo one afternoon, damaged the distillery's own water pump. Having depleted his modest funds in a canoe full of craft beer, his only option was to pay down the damages working for us here. And that's why we're called the Hard Times Distillery. Heather comes to us from the field of psychotherapy. She used to hit the bars to blow steam after emotionally draining client sessions, but the remedy outpaced the disease in her tab went to the distillery. Evening, Marge. Marge is an avid collector of vinyl records. She borrowed some quick cash from a distillery employee for a rare King Tubby dub plate. Must have been quite the find.
Yeah, interesting place. Really bizarre, though. Is there anywhere else to go? Is this the one? Feels like it. Quarters in. Are we able to go anywhere? I'm just curious. No, doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like we can talk to exactly every single person either, which is probably for the best, because there's already a lot of exposition going on. But it's entertaining to find out a little bit more about the lore. I'm assuming shipping is where we need to go. This looks like we're back to where we started. What's that? Power transformers. I suppose it all starts here.
believes it all starts here. We had special power transformers and Songbird consolidated. I believe we're their biggest subterranean industrial customer in the region. To say nothing of heating the aging warehouse, just think of what it must take to run the lights down here. We work long hours and haven't exactly any windows.
Probably some time ago in one of my Dark Souls episodes. Yeah, well, I mean, life goes on, and definitely there's a chronological timeline, I guess, my videos will come out in where I talk about certain things. And might not ever talk about them again, but I had to do scissor lift recertification for my workplace. And shortly after that, I got pink eye in both my eyes. Don't worry, it was all good. I think it's just the nature of being a dad, and having a toddler, and toddler pokes your eyes. Love him dearly though. Wouldn't change a thing about him, or my situation of being a dad. I think it's fantastic. And I'm happy to be a dad. But the pink eye was very, very inconvenient, especially since I wasn't sure I had it or not. Went to work anyways because I had to be there for the recertification, because they already had rescheduled it once because I went to a wedding in Quebec. Got 100% on the test. It was awesome. I did really good. But one of the things that kind of stuck with me that I'll always think about is when you take a scissor lift, be mindful of electrical wires, because depending on the voltage of them, you don't need to even touch them. You can be within like 10 feet is the recommended distance away. Or I could be completely wrong. Really depends how powerful it is, but one of the videos, it's like a public service announcement style video where someone was, doing the preliminary check of a scissor lift, but raised it too high next to a live power line, and it arced and electrocuted him, and he died. So that's why sometimes you see like ribbon, like those little orange flags hanging underneath electrical wires, kind of remind you to keep your distance away from them and that they're there. Anyways, terrible topic to leave this on, but I realize it's getting late and I should come read to my son some bedtime stories before he goes to bed. Spend some time with him. He's growing up very fast, and it's good to share these moments with him. I guess it does feel like he's growing up really fast. Took him blueberry picking on the weekend a couple days ago. Drove out of town to a farm that does it. It's a beautiful day for that sort of thing, and it was kind of nice to just make those memories, to be a dad and to be a family and watch him just excitedly pick blueberries because it's his favorite fruit. And even though we told him not to, they were just ending up in his mouth. And it ended up being a good price, because you go to a store, you can buy a pint of blueberries for, what, like $9? But for $10, we got 5 pounds of it. So that was pretty cool. You have to put in the work, though, except for the elements. But because the season is just beginning, it seems, there's just so many. We basically entered like a row and just were able to fill it up there. Not really like a really big bucket, mind you, but it's still quite enough. I don't know. I also must be tired because I'm going on a tangent here. Anyways, love my kid. He's awesome. I'm happy to have him in my life. He's a little miracle. And he's great. And I'm thankful he's here. And I don't know why I'm saying this out loud. At the end of an episode. Oh, well, I'm still figuring out this Let's Play thing, but you never know. I might fall in hard times and end up in an underground brewery, bourbon distillery, never to be heard from again. Well, at least my kid will know I cared about him. I guess. There, I tied it back to this Kentucky Route Zero. Anyways. I'm gonna take off. I gotta go to bed. More later on. But anyways, you take care of yourself. Thank you for being here. Tuning in, for listening to me ramble, listening to me struggle with audio things, insecurities about what I'm even doing with this Let's Play stuff. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I really do. I do this for fun, and if you're my one follower, that's all I really need. So I appreciate you being here. So you take care of yourself. And I'll catch you next time. So have a good day, afternoon, evening, and I'll see you later. Good night.